All right, biology fans, welcome to a super fast-paced 25-question pop quiz covering the essentials of reproduction and genetics. Think you're ready? Let's do this.
So, you think you've got your chromosomes sorted from your cytoplasm? Well, here's your chance to prove it. I'm going to throw some fill-in-the-blank questions your way. Let's see what you've got. Okay, round one. We're starting with the absolute basics, the building blocks of all living things. Here are the first four. First up, the cell consists of a nucleus and what? Next, the typical animal cell is missing a particular kind of wall that a plant cell has. What is it? Then, an actively dividing cell contains this thread-like structure called a what? And last one for this set. When a single-celled organism grows, it produces another what kind of cell? Got your answers? Okay, let's see how you did. The answers are cytoplasm, cell wall, chromosome, and independent. And that cytoplasm, by the way, is basically all the jelly-like goo inside the cell that holds everything in place.
And here's a great little visual for that cell wall question. See? Animal cells don't have one, but plant cells do. It's kind of like their skeleton, giving them that rigid structure.
All right, round two. Now we're going to talk about a real giant in the world of biology. You might even call him the father of genetics. So check out this quick timeline of Gregory Mendel's life. What's so wild is that he was actually a monk who was sent off to study science. And it was in his monastery between 1856 and 1863 that he did these world-changing experiments on pea plants. Okay, next set of questions. First, Mendel studied traits where offspring fell into a few something that could be something, fill in those blanks. Next, our interest in heredity comes from noticing both da-da-da and similarities between things. What are we noticing? Then, early humans helped the evolution of domestic animals and also major, what else? And the big one, why do we need these things? We depend on them for our...
All right, answers are in. They are classes that could be enumerated, noting differences, major crops, and of course, for their food. And that word enumerated in the first answer, that's the key. It just means he counted everything. He brought math into biology, and boom, the field of genetics was born.
We are halfway there. Let's get into round three. This time, we're diving deep into the cell's nucleus to talk about the blueprint of hereditary itself. Okay, time for a little bit of biology by the numbers. First question. A species' chromosome number is found in what two types of tissue? Next, a fun one. The male West African grasshopper has 19 chromosomes, so how many chromosomes does the female have? And last, most cells have pairs of identical chromosomes called what? And the answers are saprophyte or somatic tissue, 20 chromosomes in the female, and homologous chromosomes. By the way, somatic is just a fancy word for pretty much all the cells in your body, everything except the sex cells. And for us humans, speaking of somatic cells, this is our magic number, 46. That's right, 23 pairs of those homologous chromosomes crammed into nearly every single one of your cells, holding the entire instruction manual for you. Okay, let's keep this round going. Next up, the chromosome count in gametes, the sex cells, is what fraction of the number in somatic cells? Then, when a male and female gamete fuse, they form a something zygote. And finally, what's the name of that incredible process that keeps the chromosome number the same when cells divide? Ready for the answers? They are half, 2n, and mitosis. These are super important concepts. Gametes have half the chromosomes, they combine to make a whole 2n zygote, and mitosis is how your body makes more identical cells for growth and repair. And just look at how simple and elegant mitosis is. You copy the DNA, you divide the nucleus, and you end up with two brand new identical cells. It's like a perfect biological copy machine, and it's happening in your body millions of times a second right now. All right, here we go, the final round. Round 4 is all about how life actually passes its genetic information on to the next generation. Let's bring it home.
Okay, this is a big one. 5 questions coming at you fast. Ready? In single-celled organisms, asexual reproduction is tough to tell apart from what? Next, new cells always come from a what kind of existing one. Then, cell division for getting bigger is called what? But for making a whole new organism, it's called what kind of reproduction. Next, asexual reproduction creates what kind of offspring? And finally, why would you use asexual propagation on a plant? Go.
And
Time's up. Let's see the final answers. They are growth from a pre-existing one. The first blank is growth, and the second is asexual reproduction. It creates uniformity, and it's to perpetuate a particular plant type. And that's the key, isn't it? That uniformity means you're basically making clones, which is exactly what you want if you have the world's best apple tree. And that's a wrap. 25 questions down. Phew. Hey, no matter how you scored, we just flew through some of the absolute cornerstones of modern biology. I mean, think about it. We hit on cell structure, the history of genetics with Mendel, how chromosomes work, the whole process of mitosis, and the huge differences between asexual and sexual reproduction. Not bad for a quick challenge. But if there's one thing to really let sink in, it's this definition right here. Mitosis is the engine. It's how we grow, how we heal, and how many organisms reproduce. It's that beautiful, essential process that makes sure the genetic blueprint gets passed on perfectly, time and time again. So, how'd you do? Be honest, let us know your score. And more importantly, tell us what biology topic we should turn into a quiz next. Thanks so much for taking on the challenge, and as always, stay curious.